Baseball was the most popular sport in the United States until a more exciting sport took its place as America's favorite pastime. Of course, we're talking about American football. Since the 1960s, the National Football League, or the NFL, has been the most popular sporting league in the US, while Major League Baseball has taken a back seat. To this day, the NFL is still the ruling monarch in American sports. But in the years to come, who's to say America wouldn't turn their attention and devotion from football to a more entertaining, more straightforward, and edgier sport? And of course, no other sport fits that description better than mixed martial arts. The UFC has grown leaps and bounds since it has been purchased by Zuffa in 2001, and has further reached uncharted territory in terms of popularity and wealth since it has evolved into a publicly traded company. So what does the UFC have over the NFL? Two things: stories and holy shit moments. These holy shit moments are the eye-catching phenomena that attracts newcomers into the sport. Knockouts, submissions, takedowns, ground and pounds, you name it, the UFC has it. But it's ultimately the storylines that turn the casuals into hardcores. And just like any other tale, UFC's story arc revolves around the who, what, where, when, why, and how, but especially the who. Unlike with team sports such as American football, MMA fans root for individuals rather than a billion-dollar franchise or a city. It's the simplicity of rooting for a person that makes fighters connect easily with viewers. Sure, the NFL also boasts colorful characters, the likes of Tom Brady, Odell Beckham Jr., and Aaron Rodgers. However, it's more difficult to stand out in a field with 21 other players, especially when the players' faces aren't even visible through their gear. The UFC, on the other hand, is a perfect platform to create stars. Each fighter has their own unique personality, fighting style, and journey. String together a few impressive performances, make people pay attention through your post-fight interviews, and all of a sudden, you're bound for superstardom. Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey are living proof that the MMA stars can be among the most recognizable figures in sports, period. But of course, not everyone gets to be a McGregor or a Rousey. In fact, it's rare for fighters to reach that level of prominence. Through the power of social media and programs such as UFC Embedded, fans come to learn that most of the men and women that compete in the octagon live a modest lifestyle. They have real-life goals and struggles just like the rest of us. Due to their relatively humble pay, most of them can't afford to live the life of luxury unlike their counterparts from other sporting organizations. Simply put, these fighters are some of the most relatable athletes one could ever watch. On top of that, the basic concept of MMA is easy to understand. No complicated rules, no different positions, no complicated gameplay. The goal is simple: hurt your opponent while trying to avoid getting hurt yourself. Barring headbutts, eye pokes, groin shots, and a few illegal blows, fighters can virtually use anything to try to incapacitate their opponents. In addition, the interest in martial arts crosses every border, every country, and every continent. Violence is a universal language. However, therein lies the problem that could prevent the UFC from surpassing the NFL. Needless to say, MMA is brutal and vicious. It's hard to imagine that too many parents would expose their 10-year-olds to cage fights that sometimes result in bloody faces and broken limbs. Then again, the UFC has come a long way from being perceived as human cockfighting to be recognized as a legitimate athletic event. ESPN even refused to cover the sport for being too violent in the past, but now the UFC's broadcast partner. Circling back to the question, can the UFC surpass the NFL as America's top sports league? Probably not anytime soon, but definitely has the qualities to do so.